Hi, good morning. It's Tilly Lee James here, physiotherapist, yoga teacher and designer of the Buttafly. And I'm sitting at my desk and I've had some queries from customers today, including one person on YouTube, Only T, this is for you, particularly for you. And you've been asking about the relationship of the sit bones with the surface that we're sitting on when we come into the cross-legged position. So I thought we would explore that. Even on a chair, we can feel it. So what I'm going to invite you to do is slide your hands between your butt and the surface that you're sitting on, and just let the sit bones rest in your hands there on your fingers. And if you start to rock your pelvis, anterior pelvic tilt here and a posterior pelvic tilt, so you're increasing the arch in your back, and then you're coming into the slumped position. So this is a classic, what we call pelvic rock. And what you will notice is that you are rolling the sit bones in the fingers. And you might get a sense of there's one really sharp part of the sitting bones, and this is the apex of the curve. And if you go onto the front apex there, then you're coming into the anterior pelvic tilt. And if you roll behind, you come into the posterior pelvic tilt. What we might not be so much aware of is that actually there are two sides to the sitting bone as well. And so if you put your hands in this way and the fingers coming up this way, you're actually on the inside edge of the sitting bone. And then if you roll your fingers so that you're now coming in this way, then you're pushing onto the outside of the sitting bone. If you raise one leg, so I'm going to raise my right leg here and then pendulum the leg. So actually what I'm doing is I'm rolling the ball in the hip socket. And what this is doing is there's not a huge amount of movement here, and so this is ending up causing a little bit of joint play in my pelvic bones, so that my pelvic bone, my sit bone, is actually moving in on my fingers. Now, to really accentuate this, what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring my ankle right up onto my thigh, and now it's almost as if my sit bone has disappeared. And this is because I've gone right on to the outside edge of the sitting bone. The inside edge is now pointing in this direction here. So let's just see what that looks like on my pelvis here, my skeleton. So here we have the sitting bone from the side. You can see very much that rocker there, and you can see the apex there. So it's this is this plane here, front, chopping you into. Oh, do you know what? I'm rubbish with planes. Just forget that. Okay, let's go on. Let's just go on to the side here. You can see. So when I was feeling the outside edge of my sit bones, I was touching this part, and then if you hook the fingers in, you can come onto the inside edge of your sitting bones. So, and you know what, there's loads of muscles, there's loads of little muscles in this area, so it's actually really good to be getting some movement and some massage in this way. The relevance of this for what the surface of what you're sitting on, you can actually draw a parallel with the knuckle. So if I put the point of my sit bone onto a hard surface, you come along and you press my hand down, that's going to feel really quite uncomfortable on the point of my knuckle here. If I roll my knuckle onto the side, you could actually come and stand on it, and I might not like you very much, but it's not going to be painful in the same way. So the relevance of this is that when we sit with our feet on the floor, as we do when we're generally sitting at our desk, we tend to sit so that we're feeling more of that point. And so we are going to, most of us are going to want a softer surface than if we come into the cross-legged position. We can actually sit on a firmer surface for much longer. So I'm happy to sit on my Buttafly for an hour in meditation. When I come to using it on my chair, I would find an hour probably quite strong. I could probably actually, I mean, on the floor, I can sit for a whole workshop for a couple of hours, for the whole morning, and without any problems whatsoever. But on my chair, I'm wanting something a little bit softer. So, Ailey T, I hope this answers your question. I hope it's been helpful. And to anyone else who's watching, please do go onto my YouTube channel and like and subscribe. And if you've got any questions and there's any you want to ask anything, I'm very happy to try and answer it as best I can. So I look forward to seeing you next time, and have a really nice day. The sun's shining here.